Hey, Bobby Manning here. Welcome to a news edition of the Garden Report. Celtics trading Jaden Springer. And just getting back from Cleveland. And as expected, Celtics move off his $4 million salary to save about $15 million in tax. I don't love it by itself here, especially after we saw Springer get in the mix, do some stuff for them defensively. He was their fourth guard on the depth chart. So some depth that they lose here, and they give up a second rounder to move off that money. So we'll see what happens here just about 24 hours from the deadline. There's some sense that another move could come, and one does have to come now. Celtics opened up their 14th roster spot with this trade, and they do need to fill that within 2 weeks here. And they create a $4 million TP. It's TP time again. And they can use that until the deadline tomorrow. You can't carry those year over year now. So if you bring in a $2.5 million player, 3.8, anything under $4 million, you can now absorb if you're the Celtics and take that percentage of the difference off your luxury tax hit this year. So maybe you boost it up 10 if you take in, 2/3 of that, or down to 7.5 if you take in half of that. Or you could bring in a rookie deal now. Celtics could bring in like a 1-2 year minimum deal without giving any players up. Previously, now you could bring in any contract as long as it's, again, worth less than $4 million this year. Is that going to happen? I don't know. Again, the Celtics don't have a ton to offer here. If they did and could use this salary to bring back a player, they might have already done that. But maybe Springer's value just wasn't high around the league as a salary that teams want to bring in. So we'll see what happens over the next day or so here. Again, 14th roster spot open, $4 million TPE created here, and $15 million in luxury tax savings. Of course, the Celtics traded for Springer just about a year ago from Philadelphia at the deadline. Sent out Delano Banton to Portland to make that work. So gamble on a player that they liked in his draft class, Springer. Doesn't work out here. Played sparingly over the last year or so. Never found much offensive footing at all. Did they give him enough of a chance? I guess you could debate that. But despite the strides he showed in limited opportunities recently, the Celtics move on from Springer here, send him to Houston, where he'll enter the Rockets' mid-level exception, which is how they take on that $4 million there. And they're going to take a pick from the Celtics, just sending back one of those heavy protected top 55 second rounders that's not going to convey. So Celtics only get tax saving and a TP that they have 1 day to use here. So we'll have updates as they happen. You can go read about this over on CLNSmedia.com. And we will have a trade deadline show tomorrow and see if the Celtics do anything else here or just move on to the deadline or buyout market, free agent market. Good thing about that is that you're only paying the player the percentage of that contract that's left in the year. So you could sign someone for about $1 million right now and only pay, what are we talking at that point? Like $2 or $3 million in tax, something like that. So that might be the route they go here to why they cleared this roster spot. So that's that on Springer. Check out our sponsors, Prize Picks. They're giving away a free Pat Mahomes square right now for the big game. And as always, you can play $5 and get $50 instantly over there. Just use the code CLNS and let them know we sent you. And Celtics back at the Garden on Thursday, deadline day. No Springer there and no one coming back yet. But Anthony Davis could make his debut for the Mavericks. And you could be there. Just use the code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase over at the Game Time app. Terms apply. And this has been a news edition of the Garden Report. Jaden Springer traded to the Houston Rockets. I'm Bobby Manning. We will talk to you whenever more news breaks here, leading up to the 2025 NBA trade deadline.